Check that out. All right, let's get back to Donald Trump talking about schools again. He is asked about
very engaged in this issue.
Well, I mean, it is right now. Schools are the biggest. It is the biggest question mark that exists.
I meant Trump's level of concern that he expresses in this clip.
Well, yeah. I mean, because here he is. He's being asked about LA schools. The announcement that LA schools were going to close, I think, happened on Monday. And here's Trump in the middle of his God knows what's going on. Oh, this is him in the. This is, I guess, must have been a pre-interview with CBS.
The Los Angeles School District is the latest and one of the largest in the country to say they're not going back to school in the fall.
Mistake.
What do you tell parents and teachers who feel that it's unsafe to go back?
I would tell parents and teachers that you should find yourself a new person, whoever's in charge of that decision, because it's a terrible decision. Because children and parents are dying from that trauma, too. They're dying because they can't do what they're doing. Mothers can't go to work because all of a sudden they have to stay home and watch their child, and fathers. What's happening? There's a tremendous strain on that whole side of the equation.
So it's a balancing act.
It is a balancing act, but that we have to open our schools. Well, I also say a decision like that is politics, because we're starting to do very well in the polls because I'm for law and order. I'm for strong business. Our jobs are coming back at a record level like never. We've never seen anything like it. Record level. We're heading up. It's turning out to be the V, just like I built it once before, the strongest economy ever. I'm doing it again. And they don't want that to happen because they think...
Who's the they?
They is the Democrats.
Oh, boy.
Who's the they?
He really can't figure it out, can he? I mean, he's basically saying... 70% of parents we're too nervous to send our kids to school. And he's saying, well, that's the fault of the Democrats that you're not going back to school.
So it's a balancing act follow-up. It just seems like a really egregious example of how toothless our press is.
Well, that's access.
I know
right
it.
there.
Of course it is. But
let me help you explain
right?
it to us, Mr. President. It's a balancing act, right?
Yeah.
Just horrible.
Well, certainly that's how she got that interview, too, because she was at Fox News forever before she went to CBS, which I'm sure was a function of saying, hey, I can get this interview, basically.
Right.
But look, he
did a toothless bar interview, too.
He's in bad shape. I mean, I guess literally and figuratively. But, there is no... he's not having any fun. I know I'm going to the superficial aspects of this, but I think he is aware, as delusional as he is, of what the picture is looking like and emerging like. And, again, the school thing is just such it's an illustrative example, though, of the whole structural problem here, which is that people have not been taken care of in a pandemic depression. And I don't think
that's been by design.
By design, of course. We know this. We got to get back to work. States are safe. We want to do that because we don't want to pay people's unemployment. We've never had a proper federal response. It's mostly been, consolidation of corporate monopoly capital. And so, the only reason that you would be rushing to reopen schools is because there are people. I understand that there's some educational concerns, but there's, desperation because people have to get back to work. People don't have childcare. People also don't have tech access. Those are real issues and they haven't been taken care of. And,
I think there are really big educational issues as well. But yes, the work thing is massive. But the fact is that people can't go back to work anyways.
Right.
I mean, anywhere. I mean, the thing is that anywhere where they're going to open up school, anywhere where they're going to close schools, it's going to be because people can't go to work as well.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to work from home for people when you have kids there too. Obviously, there are, it's a combination of all these things, but ultimately federal government failing to provide resources to states and municipalities is huge. And then they need to step up and provide for individuals. And the other big thing is I don't know what percentage of that 70% who are afraid to send their kids to schools aren't reacting to the fact that we have no there doesn't seem to be anybody in charge of this stuff who is like, we do not have a federal government. There are people now waiting. I'm hearing reports of people waiting for tests 7, 8, 14 days.
Yep.
There's no point in getting a test if you're going to wait 14 days.
Right.
Because if you're going to go in, you get a test, you just quarantine for those 14 days. And the problem is that people are getting the test and they're not going to quarantine because, well, I'm not feeling anything or went away and then it comes back. I mean, it's a disaster. It is a disaster.